Well, the Joseph Priestley House is a museum. We usually open the season in March with Founders Day. One of our other regular events is Oxygen Day, which is August 1st, and that celebrates when Joseph Priestley discovered oxygen. So that's important. But the historic cemetery tour is brand new this year. It will be Saturday evening, October the 30th. And the idea is just to show off historic characters here in Northumberland. I mean, Northumberland, like many of the towns around here, have a really rich history. And there's some really unusual characters that are buried there.
We chose Halloween to have a cemetery tour because it brings out the macabre and sort of the spooky, and everyone likes to think of Halloween as something scary, and nothing is more eerie than walking through a cemetery by luminaries and the light of the moon and talking about ghosts and figures that are no longer with us here. We were inspired to give this tour because there's a lot of history in this community that a lot of people just aren't aware of. And I think it makes families excited, it makes kids excited to know that this is part of their heritage as well. Guests will be entering through the main entrance of the Riverview Cemetery in Northumberland, which is quite an old cemetery. It goes back to the mid-1800s. We have 11 different characters, and they're all in historic costumes. And they will be describing different individuals from our community who are actually buried in the cemetery, and we will be at their sites primarily. When they first enter, one of the very first characters was one of the first individuals to ever have a car in Northumberland, which posed a lot of problems for many people, which is surprising today. But at the time, they were competition with the horse and buggy, and a lot of people were very skeptical of new technology. We also have some artistic folks that were here that lived in the town, and several writers, and it's just, I think it encompasses a lot of history that a lot of folks probably aren't aware of. And of course, we couldn't be renounced to say that we will have the Priestleys as well, Joseph and Mary Priestley. I think a tour like this will impact the community in a very positive way. Kids learn about history in school, and let's be honest, when you're a child, a lot of history is, not your favorite subject to to engross yourself in. But I think when they realize that there's a lot of very interesting, funny, even some spooky stories that go along with that history, I think it makes it more exciting and more tangible to those kids, to have that, to learn and, to be educated, and something that they can share generation after generation like we are trying to do here.
You're doing everything you can to keep you and your family safe as the COVID-19 outbreak continues to affect our daily lives. Wearing a mask, washing your hands, and physical distancing.
But there's one more thing you can do. That's staying engaged in your health care.
At UPMC, we are ready to treat you safely, either in person or through video visits.
Remember, we're here for you, now more than ever.